Okay, welcome. So this is my little video on how to heal from Crohn's and how to heal from colitis, aka healing the gut, because it's all falls under the same thing. I also want to apologize for the actual lisp that I have. I'm wearing my Invisalign. Okay, so I have some notes on how to heal the gut and I literally cannot find them, but I'm gonna go off memory and some of the notes I have on my computer. First off, I'm gonna tell you about the little story, the journey, and how I know this, and then, just get into it. First off, I'm obviously gonna put the disclosure. This is my opinion, and nobody can sue me for it. Just kidding. But obviously this is my opinion. I am not a medical professional. Oh my God, I can't even say that. I am not a medical professional. Yeah. Why does that sound so weird? Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's my list. This is merely advice. Okay, guys? Some knowledge that I know. All right. So, I just want to say, I'm going to start off this video with saying there is no money for the pharmaceutical industry if you're healed. Okay? If they heal you, there is no money for them. So, with that being said, I think there's a lot of things out there, chronic diseases out there that can be healed and can be reversed, and we are straight up being lied to by the government, the pharmaceutical industry, everything. Just Western medicine as we know it, there's so many lies, and there isn't money in healing someone, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to tell you about the little story and how I kind of know all this stuff. And I'll keep it as quick as I can. A couple years ago, my boyfriend then, now fiance, got Crohn's or colitis, which is inflammation of the bowel diseases. And the difference between the two is like the regions, but to me, they're the same because it's inflammation of your intestines. So he got colitis and he was bleeding out of his asshole. That's so horrible to laugh. He was bleeding and he was really, really, really terrified, not knowing what it was, and bleeding very heavily, I might add. And he was having stomach issues and things like that. And so we finally took him to a specialist, and they're like, we don't know what's going on. We have to get in there and look. And so then he did a colonoscopy. And so in the colonoscopy, they showed how he has Crohn's and colitis. So that's when he was diagnosed. And this is literally right after the colonoscopy. He's in the hospital bed, and the doctor or the nurse, I can't remember, literally say, and yes, it's horrible bedside manner, literally say, you're either gonna die from liver failure because of the medicine that you now have to take for the rest of your life, or you're gonna have basically, excuse my French, a shit bag, because you're gonna have a piece of your intestines removed. And so you're gonna have this bag with you all the time. And I've just never, I don't know. I've always gone against authority, and I've always been led by God, and I felt God right there telling me, no, that's not true. And so I'm not going to believe them. And so I did a lot of research and stuff like that, immediately going into learning how do we heal this, because I straight up just didn't believe them, and I'm glad I listened to that because I was right. I started to give him herbs that would, they were almost slimy. So, for example, I would give him slippery elm root tea And I would have him drink, like, at one point, I would, like, literally scoop, like, aloe vera leaf and, like, he'd eat it. And I just remember, like, that would, like, start soothing his tummy. And he felt like every single time he took the prescription medicine that they gave for him, he felt that it made him worse. He felt that it was actually keeping him from healing, and it kept him in this, from moving forward. And he just felt every single time he took the medicine, like he felt like it made it worse. And so we took the bold leap and just completely discarding the medicine. He wasn't on it for very long. If I can remember, like maybe a month, not even, like, maybe, like, honestly, like 2 weeks he was on it, or even less, I don't know, probably 2 weeks. And we made the bold leap of trusting ourselves over the advice of doctors and professionals. And so we did, and I'm glad we did. So we're going to talk about the ways to start healing it. And I'm going to try my best from memory, because I had so many notes on this, and anyways, I can't find them. But say you or someone you love has Crohn's or colitis. What I would immediately focus on doing is, 1, removing all the inflammatory foods, all the processed foods. So yeah, removing just all of that. You want to calm the inflammation. And so you just want anti-inflammatory foods, okay? And after you remove all the anti-inflammatory foods and are only eating foods that are anti-inflammatory, right? Because you want to remove all the processed stuff. And if you're really bad, like really bad at the beginning, where maybe you feel like you can't put much in there, you can, for the initial part, like go just on eating fruit and stuff like, you know, bone broth or just like soup, like stuff like that. But I just saw in my head, no noodle soup, nothing like that, because again, the noodles, it's like, we'll get there eventually. You'll be able to eat that one day, but like we really want to cut out all like processed stuff and anti-inflammatory, inflammatory things. We want to cut that out and only have an anti-inflammatory diet. So we're going to do that. You're going to have an anti-inflammatory diet, and then you're going to, at the same time, you're going to want to take things that are actively trying to soothe your tummy. So I made him a tincture of slippery elm root powder, and then myrrh powder, and then golden seal powder. Now, I literally had nothing to go off of on how to dose the powders and mixing them and like what ratio. I just did my intuition. But now, like, there is ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will actually tell you like what's a good dose and like how to mix it. But I just want to make sure I spell it right. So that was such a powerful tea to be drinking every single day, twice a day. And for people who are really bad, like 3 times a day. Honestly, the more you can drink it, the better. If you can be drinking it 3 times a day, that's amazing. So these 3 things are really important to mix. Slippery elm root, and you'll notice, that's literally hence the name, slippery elm root. Say if you leave it like overnight, you'll look at it the next day and it's quite like slippery, like the exact thing that will soothe the lining. Things that are like slippery like that, like aloe vera, the inside of the leaf, like stuff like that are so soothing to the gut. And so So yeah, that was like one of just a really important thing that he would take is myrrh powder. So MYRRH. And then on top of that, guys, you know, you really want to make sure that you're getting it from like a good source, right? And so myrrh powder, golden seal powder, and slippery elm root. And I would make it into a tea. And he would drink that like 3 times a day. Now that would start to calm down the lining and soothe it. And then it also like starts to help rebuild it a little bit. So then after that, we would introduce things that like actually do rebuild it. Sorry, guys. So one of the things that he would take that helps with gut repair is L-glutamine. So L-glutamine is an amino acid, and it will actually like repairs the gut lining, which is what we want. Once you get your inflammation lower, you will start introducing things like probiotics and fermented fruits. But that's only once you're like at a healed enough stage. And that's going to help rebuild back the good bacteria in your gut. And it's just really important to rebalance the gut lining, the gut microbiome. So slowly you will start to reintroduce prebiotics and probiotics foods, kefir, yogurt, sauerkraut, like fermented things like sauerkraut are so good for you. What else did we do? Yeah, like for a while, if you're at the way beginning and it's really terribly bad, you might, you know, for a little bit just be living off of like bone broth and you know, cooked vegetables and like fruit. And then eventually you will want to also introduce, and only you will know if you can introduce it yet, because obviously I don't know where you are on your healing journey. Eventually another really important thing to introduce is fiber. But I don't want you to be using, I'm going to show you this. I don't want you to go to the store and get this crap. Okay? I don't want you to go to the store and get that crap. That's not real. It's probably cancerous. Let's just be real. I want you to get real fiber husk. Okay? The one that I use and that we used. Let me go to my Amazon and my orders. Is this one. Okay? Tastes like nothing. And you put it in your water or whatever drink and you throw it back. And also this, if you leave it sitting in your water, you'll see it kind of gets like slimy. And once again, it's these things that are soothing and slimy and almost like a gelatin like ness to it. And it's healing and it coats the stomach. Also, the fiber has prebiotics in it, and that's food for your probiotics. Okay, so this is the one I use, and I really, really like it. It lasts a really long time. It's that one. Okay, and so he would start doing that, and of course, once again, I cannot stress enough, you want to take away the sugar. You want to take the processed foods that feed harmful bacteria away. You want to take processed foods and inflammatory foods completely away from your body. And then also it's really important, you know, after you've been kind of taking care of that for a while and you're soothing your gut and it's, you know, hasn't been exposed to inflammatory things, it's important to start to find out the reason why you got there in the first place, right? Because the thing with Crohn's and colitis is it's a multitude of things that get you there. And I'm just going to list out some examples. Taking antibiotics, parasites, mold. There's obviously other things that can happen to the gut as well. It's really important finding out through a gut analysis test what is really going on with your gut. Because a lot of times the reason someone gets Crohn's or colitis is because it's multiple things that ended up causing inflammation. And so for my fiance, what I think it was a parasite and antibiotics, and he drank so much. At that point when he got diagnosed with it, he wasn't drinking as much, but like the year prior to that, he was totally, you know, in our early 20s, he totally was an alcoholic. And so like that too, like constant abuse to your gut through alcohol, things like that. It's like multiple things start stacking up that then lead to that. And of course, like the Western medicine, one, they're not incentivized to truly heal you, right? Because they literally get paid by the drug companies that if they hit a certain quota of getting people on these prescriptions, doctors literally get paid like $100,000 for like a certain amount of people that they get prescribed on these like drugs, and they have these deals with drug companies and stuff like that. And obviously they just want to keep you in that loop and never truly healing. And so, obviously guys, cut out drinking, cut out all those toxins, you know, really even like, I'll be honest, we were totally like smoking weed through the whole thing. And, you know, it is what it is, but I know that it is better on your system to not be smoking. But just definitely don't smoke cigarettes, don't vape. You want to remove toxins from your life. And so, also like hot foods, you know, Tabasco sauce, like spicy foods, wine, like those things are irritants to the gut. And so you have to like learn what are irritants to the gut. And it isn't something that has to be difficult. Just search up what are the top irritants to the gut, you know. Go on ChatGPT, ask what irritates the gut lining, and then you can start to, you know, learn like, okay, spicy hot foods, alcohol, processed foods, you know. And so we cut that out, we eliminate all that out, and then you'll take a gut microbiome test, and it's going to tell you about if you have mold in your gut, if you have any parasites, and what bacteria imbalances you have. And that will be important to eventually get. I'll be honest, we didn't get it until later on in the healing journey. But I think that if we would have got it a little earlier, it would have kind of told us exactly what to do. But it is fine because what we were doing already is something that we would have had to do either way, you know? And so whether you get that test now or later, the most important thing to do is the first steps that I told you, by cutting this stuff out, you know, taking these herbs that are constantly soothing it, right? And then a really big one that also helps, and actually even helps heal ulcers down there as well, is cabbage, juicing cabbage. Now, cabbage isn't the most juiciest vegetable, so you might be like, what the hell? But yes, cabbage, and of course, there are many types of juicers. The juicer that keeps the nutrients the best is the slow ones, because there are ones that are like really, really fast, or ones that like kind of heat up. I have one that's just like slow, goes round and round. And so juicing cabbage, whether green or purple, I think purple is a little bit better, but both of them, I would just always juice both of them. And then drinking that, I think the most beneficial is drinking that on an empty stomach, but don't let that stop you. Drink it anytime you can, and that will really heal your gut as well. And so you're going to continue to be taking all those things that are really healing to the gut. You're just going to constantly be, loading your gut up with all those things that are nice and slimy for your gut. Even literally like getting one of those aloe leaves and peeling it back, and like literally the jelly stuff in the middle, like eating that's so good. It will really like soothe it. And then eventually you'll introduce like kefir and probiotics and things like that. And just side note, no coffee, guys, no caffeine, because that is a gut irritant. Okay. And then on top of that, my fiance told me that at times when he would feel pain, he would, I don't know about you guys, I don't know if you're into meditation, whether you are or not, get into it, but he would visualize, like say he was having pain in his stomach, he would actually visualize breathing in and out, and visualize like this white healing light on his tummy. And that when he did that, that a couple of minutes later, the pain would actually go away. So there would be a lot of nights where he would meditate in his sleep and visualize that white light there. And so you're obviously going to be doing this for a while, because the gut lining can take a really long time to heal. So it's definitely about having patience, but just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and you will be able to enjoy life again, because life was pretty unenjoyable for him for a bit when it was really bad. He would be embarrassed, a lot of burping, a lot of farting, because it's just all this gas buildup, and he wouldn't want to not be away from like a toilet, because like any second like something could happen and you need that toilet. And he would literally describe his intestines feeling like a spaghetti noodle. Like say you pick one spaghetti noodle and you just go like that, like the way it would shake, like that's how he would describe it. And I mean, I want you to know he was like really, really bad. He was really bad. And he healed from it without the medicine from that they prescribed. And so I just want you to know that there is a way. And it's also obviously going to teach you how to have a healthier lifestyle, but I just want you to know that there is a way to reverse it and heal it, no matter what the doctors say. Now, it is something that you're going to have patience with, but it's not going to be at the level you're experiencing now forever. It's going to gradually get better. And you just have to stay consistent. And for, you might be like, oh, like, I want to have a glass of wine again one day. You will be able to have that, but kind of a long time from now. And we want to just really have patience. Okay? And so I'm just I don't want to forget anything. So once you get to a certain place in your healing journey, you're going to be eating the sauerkraut and taking good probiotics, but not all probiotics are made equal. Okay, guys? And also when you take a gut microbiome test, it will tell you like what bacteria you have, or what bacteria imbalance you have, and based on that, you can do your research. Like literally you can go into ChatGPT and be like, this is the bacteria imbalance I have. What probiotic strains are best for that? And then you can go off that because you know exactly what strains you need to replace. This is the one I take right now. Now it's a spore-based one. So like I said, not all probiotics are made the same. This one I like it because it's 100% spore-based. So it can pass through the harsh environment of the stomach and make it to your gut where you're needing those good, soldiers. So it's called Just Thrive Probiotic, and I really like that. And that's what I take now for like maintenance, and so does he. And this is something that like I should take for the rest of my life. Like everyone should be taking this. And but then again, I just do want to say that like depending on your test, there might be one that's better suited for you. And that I just want to remind everyone that with that being said, learning about the gut has made me realize how horrible antibiotics are. And obviously, like I remember growing up, like they would just prescribe them willy-nilly, and we don't do anything to build that gut back up. And then, years go by and you grow up and you drink and you eat processed foods and all that stuff. So, in this day and age, you see Crohn's and colitis, people are getting it younger and younger. I knew someone that was 19, someone that was 16, and back in the day, the statistics were that like not until like the age of like 60 something were people getting that, like around 60 years old, and now it's like teens, kids, young children. A 16-year-old, that's a child. And just knowing that like the doctors give them no help and no hope, and that there's a 19-year-old out there walking around with some of his intestines removed and like a poop bag, like it's just so sad, because it just makes me so sad. And there are ways, and that's why I'm kind of making this video. I know it feels, at least it feels to me, all over the place, but I just wanted to not waste any more time, and I just wanted to get this video out because I know how scary, how lonely, and how severe that type of diagnosis can feel for someone. And I want you to know what the doctors are saying. It's a lie, and it's not the only way, and you can reverse it, and you can heal it. So, with that being said, eventually you will take a comprehensive like gut analysis test. You'll take that. If you have a parasite, you will do what you need to do to get rid of that parasite. And that is a whole other video that I would have to make. And say you have a fungus or like a candida overgrowth. I actually do have a candida healing protocol right here. But I just feel like it would be a lot to say. But maybe I should just say it either way. If it is candida, then there's like a protocol for that. And I actually really want to make this into a PDF so people can just download it. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, say if it's just because I have it right here, say if it's a candida issue, which is like a fungal overgrowth, it's kind of like the same protocol, but not really, on healing your gut. You're going to want to calm inflammation and start starving the candida, which candida loves carbs, because carbs turn into sugar, loves sugar. So really you're going to be eating no grains and no sugar and no carbs. You just want to eat organic meat, wild fish, pasture-raised eggs. You're going to eat non-starchy veggies like spinach, kale, cucumber, zucchini, broccoli, cauliflower, healthy fats, avocado, coconut oil, olive oil, even ghee, bone broth. You want to make sure to hydrate a lot. Drinking milk, thistle tea, and dandelion root tea. Some lemon water upon waking. Or just some water with trace minerals and the sea salt on your tongue for deeper hydration. So the name of the game with Candida is you're wanting to starve it, and it thrives off sugar. And so you're removing that, and a lot of people don't know that carbs turn into sugar. And so you're basically starving it and then attacking it. And so you want to rotate antifungals every like 7 to 10 days. And the reason I'm saying this is because I don't want you, say you have that issue, to get prescribed like antibiotics. And to be honest, I don't even know if that's what they prescribe for Candida, but I just want to make sure you don't take antibiotics unless it's absolutely necessary. And so some of the antifungals that you can take are oregano oil, olive leaf, caprylic acid, and then I'm like, maybe I should just do it like this. But I guess, is that reverse on you guys? I'm just gonna say it. So week 2, Pau di Arco, Pau space DARCO, plus black walnut and wormwood. Week 3, berberine and garlic extract and monolaurin. Week 4, grapefruit seed extract, clove and neem. Now I just want to say, you don't have to get all these things. This is how I created mine. You can find certain teas out there that have a lot of these herbs already combined so that it can just be easy. But the reason why this plan is like extra detailed is because I wanted to create like a really strong Candida protocol. And so it rotate the antifungals so that the Candida doesn't get, I don't know what's the word, like immune to it kind of. And then there's also biofilm busters that you'll want to take, like NAC. And then you'll want to take binders, of course, to bind to the Candida and the toxins that it's releasing, because you don't want it to just keep circulating in your body. You want to detox your body. So, I'm going to have to make this into a PDF. It's just so much. So you'll take biofilm busters, then you'll take binders, and then you want to clear residual yeast and heal the gut line and restore microbiome, which is kind of what I already told you about. So do those things. Then you'll reintroduce slowly small amounts of berries, because that does have some sugar, and then steamed carrots and fermented veggies for gut healing. You know, the aloe vera, the interphilet juice, like I told you, marshmallow root tea, the L-glutamine powder. Yeah, so this is just like a really big plan, and I have to make that into a PDF. So just the tips that I gave you, though, right now is enough for the Candida. You just want to make sure that, you know, you're starving the Candida and that you're taking antifungals, but then you're also taking like some NAC to get through the biofilm. And then that will actually be really good too if you have parasites, because that will help with that as well too, because it's really gross. But parasites also have a biofilm that, like, say you drink these antifungals or anti-parasite things, because some of these things in this antifungal protocol I have are also like anti-parasitic or whatever. They kill parasites, but sometimes you can't get to the parasite because it's in this like biofilm. So taking the NaC as a biofilm buster really helps as well. And then taking like a binder, a really good binder to remove the toxins, because we don't want it to just keep circulating. And honestly, the antifungals that I listed are really, really strong and really, really good. Black walnut and wormwood especially are really good for parasites. So to me, the name of the game is healing naturally. Never going to the doctor and getting whatever prescription they have for you. Like say you do have a parasite, or say you do have like candida overgrowth, like treat it naturally. Say they prescribe you something, that's not the way to do things. Like the way is to treat it naturally. Like do your research on what herbs. And obviously like you don't have to, but I just told you like one's right there. And so, you know, listen to me, because it really will work. And then also like say you do have a parasite, because it has different life cycles, it will take a second to get rid of it, because it has like, I know this is really gross, but it has different life stages. And it has like the egg and like the adult and all that stuff, and you want to like continue it until you get it at each stage. And so I'm gonna have to create a PDF for that too, because that's a whole nother thing. But the good thing is that all of this, it's almost kind of, besides like the antifungals, it's kind of the same protocol for everything. Except when you're first healing the gut from Crohn's and colitis, obviously the gut lining is super sensitive. So you're not exactly introducing things that might be irritating to the gut lining if you're really bad. That's if you're really bad. Like, I don't know where you are, but if you're really, really bad and your gut lining is too sensitive, then you wait until you do these antifungal or antiparasitic things until you kind of build that gut lining more. But yeah, just know that it is something you can heal, and you just want to get to the root of the cause and find out what's going on in your gut, what's actually going on. Because you can do things that will soothe your gut lining, but if the root problem is still there, it's still going to be there, and you're still going to be kept in that state. So you want to remove the processed foods, and make sure that you're soothing your gut lining by taking that tea or tincture that I told you about every single day, multiple times a day. And then you'll introduce like different foods, like if you can tolerate it, not processed foods, but I just mean like, say maybe at the beginning you're so bad you can only have like soup and like fruits. Then you can eventually like, you know, put some salmon, put some steak in there, and things like that. Now I just feel like I'm all over the place, but I've just been getting messages from people who are suffering from Crohn's and colitis. So I just really felt the need to just kind of throw out information for you guys. I definitely am gonna make a video, and I don't know when it'll be ready, that's like more detailed step by step. But just for anyone who's out there really struggling and suffering, I just didn't want to take any more time in giving you these tips that can really like save your life and change your life. So if you can, stop the medicine they have you on. Cut out the things I told you to cut out. Soothe the gut lining. You're going to be doing that for a really long time. Soothe the gut lining. Start taking care of your gut. Sauerkraut, the prebiotics, the probiotics, the fiber I told you about. Taking care of that. And remember guys, no coffee, no drinking, no smoking. Obviously, if you like smoke weed, we did that too during the whole thing. But guys, definitely no cigarettes, no vaping, none of that. And then you are gonna build your gut lining, and you're gonna take the L-glutamine, and that will build it. And once again, guys, this is something that is just gonna take commitment, but at least it's like giving you a roadmap to actually being able to have a life again, probably some of you feel like, and just know that where there is a will, there is a way. And I think that through the healing journey for him and just through life, that has been my motto. And that is what made me look up all this stuff and learn all this stuff and take a chance, because that just has always been my motto, and it should be your motto too. Where there is a will, there is a way. And that has driven me. And because I believe that so hard, and also like my faith is also where that comes from, is just knowing God's got me. Where there is a will, there is a way. If I ask God for the wisdom, He will give me the knowledge. He will point me to the answers. I just need to be open to them. And I definitely was. And so, not saying that you have to believe in God, but like faith is so important to keep you strong and to have faith and to know there is a light at the end of the tunnel, because the doctors don't do a very good job of that, and they don't care about your tunnel. And I just want you to know this isn't a death sentence. It isn't a lifelong sentence. Things can change, and where there is a will, there is a way. It changed for my fiance, and it can change for you. So those are my little tips. I know it kind of fell all over the place, but I just wanted to give you the tips now. So please comment below any specific questions you have, and I promise to try to make a better video. Love you guys. Just know that when things like this that happen to us, it can be so scary. And I know I don't want this to sound insensitive, but a lot of things can be a blessing in disguise, because a lot of things, unless we're forced to change, we won't. And so I love you guys, and know that God is with you, and where there is a will, there is a way.